Good morning, folks. It is May 24th, 2021. We have another garage floor. This is approximately 418 square feet, something to that effect. So I'll show you our setup here. You can see we have our generator right behind us. I think, boy, it looks awfully bright outside. It really is not that bright outside. But I'll show you the setup we have here. I'll show you what we're doing behind me. Okay, like I said, this is a little over 400 square feet. We are going to be going up the walls to this trim here. Pretty much cut and dry. This should be, I hate to use the word easy. You never say that word until you're done. We have a crack right here. We're gonna get around this stuff the best we can. Obviously, you can't prep underneath it. So we'll just go around it and roll underneath it, and that's it. To start any job, we need to order materials. So we are going to go to our website, concretefloorsolutions.com. We are going to go to our online store, and we are going to go into our epoxy floor kits. Now these kits here, these are 30 mil thick floor kits. So it comes with a primer, an intermediate coat, 15 pounds of flakes, 3 gallons of a clear epoxy top coat, and non-skid additive, which is the aluminum oxide. So we're going to get one of these 500 square foot kits. I'm going to open this up. Now, the flake options, well, here, these are the base color epoxy options. And then there's some flake brochures here. If you go down in the description, by the way, we have full-size brochures available with all of the flake selections. So you can look at them full size, so you can at least kind of get a feel for what you're looking at. And also a full-size epoxy color chart, so you can get a feel for that also. So we are going to go with the medium gray epoxy. We're going to go with the FB 411 flake, and that is going to be 1/4 inch. We are not doing the polyaspartic upgrade, and we're going to add that to our cart. Now we'll go back to the job. Okay, so here is our setup. We have our generator parked right here. I put this plug on the back of the generator shortly after we got it, but that's a 483 phase plug. Before that, what you used to have to do, I'm doing this more or less for the contractors, but you used to have to go in here and tie in your 483 phase every time you went to use this, which was quite a pain. So now I have a plug in there, and I ran PVC conduit over to this plug. So now every time we use this, we just plug in. It's the right rotation, and we can plug in and go. All right, so Jeff is changing these diamonds out. These are the black diamonds that we have on now.
We're putting the gold, which is a little softer compound metal diamond for harder concrete, which we expect this to be. This black would be for a softer concrete, so we feel better about these diamonds on this floor. And we'll know more when we start, but it should work just fine. We're all set.
That's it. So now I got the right diamonds on. We'll get everything set up here. I'll put this on time lapse so you can watch the rest of this. Okay, so we're all set. We got our vacuum running. Jeff's on the grinder. Let's see what we got. That is what we want. Okay, so we start running with the gold diamonds on there, and it started off cutting really good. And then I actually took some weights off there because it was actually too aggressive. So Jeff is doing what we call left edge around the perimeter there, and I'm vacuuming up just to double check to make sure everything looks good behind him. And we are grinding the whole floor. I'm doing the edges, and we're done grinding already. That seemed awfully quick. Doing the front nose there, get that all cleaned up, vacuum everything up, and we're just about ready for our coating. All right, so we have the CFS 343. We're going to use this to repair the cracks that are in the slab here. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, extreme rapid set epoxy. We take this on every job we go on. Awesome material to have. So I have a ketchup bottle. This is already marked with volume, so I'm just going to mark one at 100 milliliters and one at 200 milliliters. That's a 1-to-1 ratio, and I'll fill the bottle and run with it. Now I did have some cracks out there that were a little wider. I put a little sand in just to help this clot, because this stuff is really thin. That's it. Put my lid on, shake this like 5 or 6 times really quick, and start putting it out. I have a funky area right inside this door here. I'm just kind of pouring this all over this. It looked a little funny. It's actually the top of a foundation wall, so it's really not the floor, but I'm just going to try to bind this together a little bit, just so there's no issues there in the future, because I don't know what's going on there. And then the cracks, you simply go over the cracks really quick, like this. Let it soak in and do its thing. You normally have to go over the cracks 2 or 3 times till they hold. The finer cracks hold the first time generally. Here's another one right here. That was my first mix. I'll do one more. Okay, here's my second mix. One little crack on the corner here. Cracks normally occur off the corners, just because when the concrete shrinks, that's where it cracks. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'll start over, start topping everything off again. This is already getting warm in my hand. I can feel it starting to gel up. Well, not gel up, heat up, I should say.
Okay, everything is holding. If you look at this in the light, you'll look at the reflection and you can see where it drained down. And this is setting up right now. Okay, so this stuff's at about 15 minutes. We're getting ready to grind it. I just wanted to show here, so this is that problem area. It was just, I was afraid there might be some scaling on the surface there, so I poured the CFS 343 on it. I'm gonna grind over it and make it smooth, but that was just a precaution to hold everything together again. You see these cracks here. You see how it turns kind of gray when it sets. I almost dropped my phone, that would have been ugly. So this is full here. You see it's gray. That is not quite gray yet. It should be set in another 2 minutes or so. There's a little crack here. So I'll set this up, we'll grind it, and then we're gonna get ready to put down the prime coat.
All right, so we have the hand grinder set up. I just grind everything off of the surface there, so now it's a nice seamless floor. And now we're just gonna wrap everything up. We load up all the equipment and get ready to do the prime coat.
Okay, so now we have all the prep work done, and the floor is done. Well, I made a mistake yesterday, folks. I thought my camera was recording, and I got all done at the end of the day and looked at the camera, and it wasn't on, and somehow it turned off on me. So we missed all of the installation. So this is what we did yesterday. We did the prime coat and the intermediate coat on the same day, and we flaked it right away. And this is what we have. I also did make a mistake. I said the color was SE Camel, and that is not correct. This is medium gray epoxy with the B411 Domino Flake. So this is what we have. So we have our shop vac right over here. We're going to clean up all the excess flake, get this all cleaned up, and then we are going to apply our CFS 137 MUV clear coat, and then we're done. We have the plastic hanging from the door already. And for those of you who didn't see the video where I explained how to hang the plastic, this plastic is 4 feet wide. I buy it 4 feet wide on the roll. And you tuck the plastic, let's see if I can get a good shot of this. The first joint up, you tuck the plastic in that joint, and you just pull it through and you put a little clip on it. So you do that on either end, and one right in the middle, just to hold the plastic in. And then when you slide the door down, the door is disengaged, by the way. So when you slide the door down, the door pinches the plastic in that joint. So when the door is closed, you have a good seal at the top. So if it rains, the water rolls right down and doesn't land on the edge of the floor. So we'll set this up on time lapse. Hopefully it records today and we'll get moving.
One thing I did not mention about that plastic is at the bottom of each channel, I have a large vice grip C-clamp to hold the garage door from rolling down into the wet epoxy. Every door set's different, but these are set up about 1/2 inch just so it doesn't hit the floor when you roll the door down. Okay, so I'm mixing the CFS 137 MUV clear epoxy top coat. I squeegee that out parallel to the back wall. I throw out the aluminum oxide. We work the edges in the vertical surfaces and get that done quickly. And as soon as I get that front nose there, Jeff will begin to work the 18-inch roller and go over the whole floor perpendicular to the way I squeegeed. So now Jeff is finishing up the last corner there with the 18-inch roller, and we are done.
All right, folks, we are done. You can see the reflection of our clear coat in the light. I don't have my spikes on, so I can't walk out there. You can see the light reflection there, I guess. I'm going to show you what this looks like a little close up. You can see the texture of the aluminum oxide, those little specks in there. So this is it. This is medium gray with 411 domino flake. We're just taking some after pictures behind me here. I'm going to show you how we deal with this plastic on the way down to protect this. One thing I want to do is introduce our mascot here. This is Chief. He is adorable, isn't he? Come here, Chief. Yesterday you loved me. All right, there you are. That's Chief. That's the mascot dog. All right, so I'm going to set the steps so you can watch us hang plastic here. All right. Recording. What's this? All right, so here's a close-up here. You see the plastic now, it goes in between that joint, and when you close the door, it pinches the plastic. So all we do is pull the plastic out. In this case here, we have nice bricks. We tuck a brick at each corner and lay a brick, every 2-3 feet across the front edge here, and that protects it from, well, anything. Okay, so another one's done. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your support. If you like what you're watching, hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.